welcome to your Fearless Friday. Now, I want to start off by saying whether you're listening to this live in our Rising Strong support group or whether you're watching on our YouTube channel, I just want to say you're very welcome here. And I'm thrilled you've decided that this is your time to start on the road back to life. Now, myself and the Rising Strong community put a lot of energy into making this a supportive and sacred space. It's wonderful to have you here from all around the world. We truly are feeling very blessed to have you all here. Now, this week, we are going to focus on trust, as this is a crucial element to living your most wonderful life and being able to show up in the world as your best self. So how many of you struggle with a lack of trust? During our cancer battle, we have had many experiences that would have made us lose that trust in ourselves and in others. Yes? We lose it with our own body. How many of you have gone through that pain of distrusting your own body? Whether you are that person who took the greatest of care of yourself, maybe you've always eaten the right food, you've always exercised, you've always meditated, and yet your body let you down. Maybe you didn't take a second thought to how amazing your body is or what it needs to stay energized and flexible and healthy. One or the other, it doesn't matter, because once we get that diagnosis, those fears and resentment and anger come tumbling out, firmly focused on how your body has let you down. And then again, what about losing trust in the people we thought would be there for us? Those friends and family who we knew we could rely on. We carry that pain and disappointment, loneliness even, betrayal. We feel all of that when they don't show up. They leave us feeling full of resentment and distrust. And even sometimes with our medical team who ultimately save our lives, but how many of us have come through our treatment plan without a mishap that shakes our trust in the medical team? And yet trust is an essential part of coming back to life. So how do we overcome those fears and start to rebuild? Well, as always, it begins with us, always begins with ourselves, right? And as we do here in this group, we start slowly and gently with ourselves. How many times have you told yourself you'll do something and then simply don't? Losing trust in yourself. From starting your day with a walk, maybe writing your morning pages, maybe drinking more water, all the baby steps that are essential to your rising strong and thriving that we say to ourselves, today or tomorrow, I'm going to do that. And they are going to support you as you come back to life. Those steps are crucial to build that foundation that we need to focus on. And yet, somehow, you're not prioritizing them. You're not prioritizing you. And every time you fail to do what you say you're going to do, every time we do that, we lose a little bit more trust, right? Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't, you are chipping away a little more of self-respect and a little more trust in yourself. Now, without a doubt, you do need to understand your guiding principles in life so that you can become mindful around the decisions you make. Your guiding principles being the intangibles that are most important to you. Yes? Does that make sense? It's a little like when we say to ourselves, tomorrow I will start reading more books, for example, and then tomorrow comes and you don't start, we're losing that trust within ourselves because we said we were going to do it and now we're not doing it. So where's the trust in all of this? But let's do something to help yourself, because if you're saying, I'm going to read more books, but you have no idea why or what, then the likelihood is you're not going to be inspired to read more books. Yes? What if you said, tomorrow I'm going to start running? I'm going to start running. And yet that's not important to you. Maybe flexibility is more important to you than cardio, right? Then you're not going to be inspired to do it. So you're making these empty promises to yourself that you were going to start something that has no meaning to you. So you're already putting yourself on your back foot. Does that make sense? If I'm not making sense, then you know the drill. Like, write in the comment box. I'm sure you're with me. You know, you've known me long enough now. I'm sure you're with me. But for us to build trust in ourselves, we have to start doing what we say we're going to do. But if you're just grabbing ideas or things that your husband does or that your friends do or your neighbor does as something you feel that you should do, then you're not going to do them anyway, right? So working out those guiding principles, working out those values, that's your first step in making good decisions, good calls for yourself that you are then going to follow through on. When we follow through, we build trust in ourselves. Yes? Yes. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. By determining what's most important to you in life, for example, health, love, connection, belonging, education, security, generosity even. But notice how those principles aren't something you can hold in your hands, right? They're intangible. Well, it's those principles, when you become aware of them and when you begin to use them to make decisions, then you become happier, healthier, more fulfilled, more loving, more kind. You even achieve greater success in your career, in love, in life, when you understand what's most important to you and show up living those values. And the more we show up, the more you show up for yourself, living by these guiding principles or values, the greater trust you build. Now I know you've got it. So this week, I want you to take some time to get curious around those principles that are most important to you. Then I want you to pay attention to how many times you show up living those values. And finally, I want to share a mantra with you that will help you to stay true to this commitment of building trust within yourself. Now, this mantra is going to support you as a way to inspire, as a way to connect into your self, really, into your heart, right? This mantra is going to be that touchstone. You know, we talk about touchstones a lot here. And a mantra written and put up somewhere that you see every day, sometimes multiple times a day, is going to help you connect to you showing up in life. Yes? You saying you're going to do something and then you doing it. Building trust. So this mantra that I'm about to share with you, I have it on a post-it note and I have it stuck to my bathroom mirror. So every morning when I'm cleaning my teeth, it's there. Yes, somewhere visible. Some people put it on their phones as a screensaver, or on their laptops as a wallpaper piece. Right? Find somewhere. I have a client that sticks them to the fridge. I don't tend to go to my fridge very often, so it's not a good place for me, but mainly because it's empty most of the time, because who has time to go shopping? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Let's come back. So this mantra was shared with me by a woman called Susie Walker, who's an amazing life coach, author, adventurer, and an all-round wonderful woman and mentor. Today is not the day I break my promise to myself. Shall I say it again? Today is not the day I break my promise to myself. Isn't that a lovely mantra? I love that. That's so, that really, I just find it so inspiring. Today is not the day I break my promise to myself. It's just so lovely. And it was this mantra that inspired me to put on my runners and get out in the rain this morning. Now, I do love running in the rain, but it is much harder to do. It's much harder to leave the house when it's peeing down outside. But anyway, cleaning my teeth, there it is. Today is the day. I'm not going to break a promise to myself. Runners on. So can you make a commitment or a promise for yourself for September? Maybe you can make a commitment or a promise to start taking those baby steps and start to trust yourself once more. And you can start small. We always start small here, right? We always do those baby steps. Always. So for me, I'm going to make a promise to myself to run or walk every day this month, 5K, to meditate every day for 15 minutes, and to journal every day throughout September too. Now I'm curious, as always curious, right? What 3 promises to yourself will you make this month? I want you to find 3. And I want you to share them below so you can be kept accountable and you can inspire others to for their three promises. Now, the more you interact in this group, the better it's going to be. The better support you will gain because it will be more interactive. So please don't be shy. You can ask me anything. I know sometimes it can be a bit daunting to be posting about yourself in a group, but I've worked really hard to make this an inspiring, supportive, forward-thinking, action-taking group. And so I really want you to start interacting with me. Start talking to me. Come and join the conversation. It's really important for you to be pushing your boundaries. Because when we push our boundaries, we get a little braver. When we get a little braver, we start to feel more confident. And when we're a little braver and a little more confident, we start to show up for things that we say we're going to do. And when we show up and do the things we say we're going to do, what happens? You build your trust. Yes. Okay. Ladies and gents, if you're watching on YouTube, then please make sure you come over and join this transformational group and conversation. I'll leave the link below in the comments. And you're also very welcome to sign up for more free resources on my website that will support you as you start along that road back to life, to thriving. Again, I'll leave that link below, either on YouTube, on Instagram, and here too, because some of you are new and may not have those resources yet. And that's it for this week's Fearless Friday. Have the most wonderful week. Remember, if you have any questions or you want to share anything with me or with the other members, maybe a part of your story as you continue to rise strong and thrive, then please do. And I will see you next week. See you then, everyone.